you doing? Happy Martin Luther King Day. You'd be happier if there weren't so many damn ignorant people around, but what can you do? Today we went to the doctor. They're not on holiday. It's weird to me, but yeah, today we went to the doctor finally, and we got a flu shot back in October, and our arms have been really, where we got the shot has been really sore. So he's prescribing us some anti-inflammatory. He says it's really weird because if you have that kind of soreness, it usually goes away in 2 or 3 days, and it's been 2 or 3 months. And I mean really sore, like to the point where we have limited range of motion, and if we move wrong, it really, really hurts. Bad pain. And also, I finally talked to him about my congestion in my chest. Had an x-ray done, and he said, I think you've had walking pneumonia. And I'm like, yeah, I've had it over a year, probably since at least December of 2019. So yeah, so, and for that I'm getting an antibiotic, so hopefully those two things will be cleared up here. And other than that, I don't know, you just going around and doing things. We're here at CVS getting our prescription filled, so woo-hoo. Hey, here I am at Wake. I'm trying a new app, so let's see how it goes. I rarely ever come to the break room, and of course I'm trying out this new app. The stabilization is what's selling me on it, and been running low on my diet food, so I'm here looking for lunch. So I'm here in the company kitchen looking to see what I can get. I find it is really hard to find food you can eat. You can't eat sandwiches because of the bread, and I don't see any salad. Ugh. This is what makes it so hard. I don't think there's anything in here for me. So hard. Yeah. Guess I just go hungry. They don't call it a diet for nothing. Alright, it is time for the best part of the day. Time to get out of here. Let's see what the weather is like. It's cool but nice. It's actually beautiful. We're supposedly passing over the hump of wintertime, and the days will start getting nicer from here on out. Ha ha ha. But for now, it's time to go home. Home and my sleep. Hey, how you doing? Coffee. Home brewed, actually. There's a little bit of cinnamon in it. Wonder if the missus put that in there. Today is Inauguration Day, and for the first time in a long time, everything feels normal. Like, I'm happy to be bored and peaceful. It's good to have adults in command for once. And I hope it stays this way for quite a while. We could use the rest. I saw a little bit of the inauguration. I went to sleep today, and I know what I did not watch and I never want to see again, and that's anything with the outgoing, was it Randy Rainbow calls him? Twitler? I just hope that they can get it to where he never returns to any position of power. He's a joke, and people should just laugh and move on and go, whew, we dodged a bullet on that one, literally. And I hope that he's gone. I hope he stays gone. I didn't want to watch him leave. I don't want to have anything to do with him. It's like when you're really, really unhappy with someone, you don't even want to say goodbye to him. I just want to forget. That's all I want. I just want to forget. I don't want to ever see him again. I hope he rots in anonymity. But I think that people should come after all his ill-gotten booty in life, because yeah, it's a shame to think that about somebody who was elected. Well, he wasn't really elected president. He just won the Electoral College. He never really won popular vote. So, and in America, the Electoral College counts over the vote. That's something I'd like to see gotten rid of. Electoral College. We don't need it anymore, I don't think. Well, anyway. I'm just so happy things are quiet and peaceful. And I can enjoy my coffee. Hey. Who's the president of the United States?
Biden.
What's his name? Not just Biden.
Joe Biden. President Biden. I call him Joe Biden. But he's now the president. He got elected today.
He didn't get elected today. He got elected in November.
President Joe Biden.
Who's the vice president?
Kamala Harris. Yay, Joe Biden's the president. Trump is fired. Lock him up. Trump is fired. I remember he said Trump is fired. How about we open the windows and say it to everybody? How about we do that?
How about we just forget about Trump?
Exactly. Yeah.
Here at the Poe, hopefully to pick up a package. Oh, it feels good to be doing normal things again. I guess we were doing normal things before, but there was always something on your mind. Now it just feels good to not have to think about anything. Just live life.
Like that. Drop your shoulder because you want to keep that muscle real squishy, real relaxed. Okay. Relax, pinch, and you're done. How was it? I'm sorry. Wow, that's what you mean.
Got her shot for the beer flu here in Johnson County because she works here in the medical profession. And we're here to check out a museum. It's this amazing museum in Johnson County. There's the two warring sides in the Civil War, James Lane and William Quantrill. This is a Googie building. It's a wonderful building. It was formerly owned by AMF, and the county restored it at huge cost, huge expense, very controversial. But I remember it was the AMF, I think, bowling alley, and down here was Ice Chateau, ice skating rink. So it's pretty cool. The all-electric house. It's the outside. I believe this is an actual house that they brought in here. Cool. So 1950s, amazing. I've always wanted to come in here. This is so cool. This house was moved to Shawnee and then it's been moved here. So cool. I would love to move into a house like this. In the 1950s, the windows facing the street were made small because you only wanted to let light in. The streets were considered to be noisy and ugly. The master bedroom, neato. And the windows facing the back would be big so you could let nature into your house. Imagine, if you will, that it's the 1950s. With your 1955 four-door Chevy Bel Air parked out in front of your ranch house. The old Mission, I believe it was a Mission bowling alley sign. And then the centerpiece to the whole display, Whitehaven Motor Lodge. It's a Googie sign. Let's see, it's got its vector, which is 0, and 2 amoeba patterns. And yes, those things are called amoebas. Air conditioned TV. No vacancy. No. I'm in heaven in here. But we can't spend much time. She's got to go to work. How's your arm feeling? Fine. Let's ooh and ah a little bit more on this sign. I remember not too long ago when this sign was out in front of the motel. Now, I'm going to go upstairs and there's a model of the motel, what it looked like. Let me explain. Whitehaven is not any reference to race. Actually, it's a reference to the white family who owned the motel and developed the neighborhood close by. And it was also the motel's motif was it was painted white. You know, family name White and Whitehaven. There's the model of Whitehaven, the way I remembered it. It was a nice motel. There's the sign. You know, the family retired and they sold out, and it's been torn down for, you know, to be redeveloped. And this is a landmark here in Johnson County. It still exists. It's now a local restaurant. It was an IHOP for a long time. Love these models. It's pretty cool. There's other models in here pretty cool of landmarks. Okay, there's just way too much to show. I have to stop. It's just too much. You just have to come here and enjoy this place. 7-Eleven. Metcalf South Mall, which in recent years has been torn down. Admission is $6 for adults and less for children. Very cool. The Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center. It's like a big activity center. And the former AMF bowling alley and Ice Chateau ice skating rink. Walking the dogs. I'm gonna go have some coffee. Actually, over that way, where we're parked. I needed to walk these, and this is a perfect excuse to walk in an area I've never walked before, actually. And this is 31st Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Across the street, all backlit with the sun behind it, is El Torreon, which is a dance hall. It's been there at least since the 1920s. I think a church owns it now, but the inside and the second floor is spectacular. There's a big dance hall up there with like an atmospheric ceiling. It's all themed, kind of Spanish architecture theme. And it's all original, if the church hasn't ripped it all out. I hope they haven't. This is an area, we're a south part of Union Hill, which is kind of a upper middle class neighborhood. And this area here is a lot of bars have sprung up around here, little restaurants and things. And the branding is Martini Corner. And off in the distance up there is the KCTV tower. The TV tower was built in the 1950s. I don't think you could get away with doing something like that in a urban environment these days. Yeah, that's a KCPT Channel 5 tower. I also believe, Channel 5 used to be in that building at the base there, and they moved out into Fairway, and that building is now occupied by KCPT, the Kansas City Public Television Station, and I believe they also use this tower for their broadcast signals, but don't quote me on that, I don't know. And one of the reasons you can't build something like that in an urban environment anymore is because when these towers freeze up, which they do usually once or twice a year, they get coated with ice, and then the temperature gets above freezing, the ice starts falling off the tower in these huge spears, and if you're underneath it, if you're walking underneath it, it'll kill you. I've seen these ice spears pretty much go through cars. And there's some houses right here that suffer pretty greatly when it happens. This is Union Hill neighborhood. I mean, look at that house right there. I guess it's a house. Well, it looks like it's divided into two apartments with a penthouse on top. Here's another view, and a pan up, looking up to the top of the tower that dominates the skyline in Midtown. They used to, well, it still lights up, but they used to do something with the lights where you could see the tower and tell the weather. Like if the lights went down, meant the temperatures were going down. If the lights rose up the tower, temperatures were going up, and several other things. But they quit doing that. Now the old studios are occupied by Kansas City's public television, KCPT, and the Bridge radio station. There are two famous punk rock sites in Kansas City on our tour. This was one of them, the VFW Hall. We used to do a lot of shows, I believe back in the 80s. And I know I went to one in 1995. And the other we just passed was El Torreon. But El Torreon wasn't only famous for its punk rock shows. It did a lot of shows, back to the 1920s, but more famously it was once called the Cowtown Ballroom, where they did shows in the 70s. Some pretty big bands too. I love the artwork I'm seeing on the sides of these buildings. Pretty neat stuff. And let's not forget this hidden gem in the back of this building. We've made it to Main Street in Kansas City, and I've always admired this building on the corner of 31st and Main. It used to house the Scientologists, but they moved into their own building they bought in the Crossroads. Yeah, I love this building. It's a landmark. Turning out to be a good walk. I didn't plan it. I wasn't going to shoot anything either, but hey, when you're here, just do it. No time like the present. Isn't that right, dongies? Right? here's a good look at the El Torreon Ballroom. I also didn't expect that I would be doing kind of the punk rock tour of Kansas City, but that's the way it turned out. But hosting punk rock shows is a more recent thing this building did. It was back in the 1990s, or late 90s, early 2000s, when somebody rented the lower space here and used it to do local bands and punk rock shows. The upstairs is this great ballroom. It's beautiful. I wish I could go inside and look at it, but I might be disappointed to find out that it's been, I don't know, remodeled. But I hope not. And yeah, this building did the Cowtown Ballroom in the 1970s, and before that it did a lot of jazz and going all the way back to the 1920s. And I don't think the upstairs, unless it's been remodeled, which would be unfortunate, is been changed since that time, the 1920s. And yeah, it's something to see. And it's interesting how something is so well preserved. It is a piece of Kansas City music history. So this area is starting to gentrify and hippify. And I see a shop there that's very interesting. Mid-century furnishings called Populux. I wonder if they have any Googie signage in there that I'd always be looking for. I'm gonna have to come back. Why walk the street when you got a perfectly good alley here? And of course, I was attracted to these murals, especially. Oh, they just keep going on. Wow. But especially this one of Big Boy Locomotive. That is neat. 0819. Huh. Well, the Big Boy chalk mark on the boiler jacket is interesting. Now that is a cool mural. That's how Big Boy Locomotives got their name. Somebody, when they were building it, somebody wrote in chalk on the jacket, Big Boy, and the name stuck. And I have to take a peek at the Superior Linen Supply sign and building. The building is odd. It's painted silver. And there used to be windows in the building, but now it's covered up with cheap particle board. And I remember why. It's because the building suffered from a fire, and they just boarded up the windows and never replaced it. So, yeah, I remember the fire. It was kind of a big one. But the same company, I believe, is still operating out of there, so they kept going after the fire. Katie's Cafe is another well-known landmark among locals. They say they have the best tenderloins, but I've eaten there once. I'm not a big fan of tenderloins, but they have a lot of people coming in and out of there. Well, this little penny walking tour exploration is almost done, and I'm gonna go. My real destination here is to go have some, coffee. But before I go in and have something caffeinated, one last look at this sign. I was noticing it as I was walking. You could see me glancing at it. Pretty cool. These days, this is my favorite landmark. Sister Anne's Records and Coffee. Coffee. So good, so good. Hey, how you doing? It's Saturday, and it's our weekend routine, except this time Aunt Suyen is with us. She has to deal with some paperwork and needs to talk with Dr. Richardson, so. And trying to figure out what I got a package coming in, and Zach is old enough and responsible enough. He's doing some chores at home, and he's kind of house sitting, waiting for that package to come in. It's a kind of a big deal. Something I ordered and bought back in September, and it's been on back order, and it's finally coming in. And then I don't know, I gotta get gas. So yeah, I'm just talking about shopping for a bag, and I'm gonna get some coffee maybe. Today I'm going to attempt to cut out the back of this box. I have to remove the whole back piece here. This is for my live stream switcher. I put the hole in the back of the box. It worked with the Dremel. That was a good idea. It's rough. Looks improvised, but as long as nobody looks back there, it's fine, I guess. And maybe someday I'll come in and sand it out. Oh, not probably. And I am waiting for the epoxy to dry, the little monitor mount, which I couldn't figure out, so I kind of improvised it. And I've epoxied it in there. We'll see how that works, but I'm waiting for the epoxy to dry. It's going to take 48 hours to cure, so. And then we'll see how it works and looks after that. Hey, how you doing? There's a new antique store, new to me, that here in North Kansas City that I haven't explored yet, so I'm going in there. Treasures of the Past Antiques LLC. It's here on the Jefferson Highway in North Kansas City, and so let's go see what's in there. Here in North Kansas City. Gonna go in, check out this place. Look at this Sputnik. Antiquing. Such a good thing to do on a Saturday afternoon. That is an old stove. Oh, that was fun. Oh, here comes a car. And it's snowing. Boy. Well, on to the next place. I'm gonna go have some coffee. Look at that. It's snowing here in North Kansas City. Snowing or sleeting. Temperature says 42, but there is definitely some solid precipitation falling. Well, I'm going to go in and say hi to Miss Emily and have my Americano. I don't know if you've ever been to this place before. It's up here on the second floor of this blue house across the street from Loretto. Downstairs is a dog grooming place. And you go up these white stairs and there's Emily's coffee house called Downbeat. Coffee. Hey, how you doing? We just got done with our live streaming at the church and actually went really well. There was no interference. It's hardly glitchy at all, which was amazing. It's just, And I even had a crew of helpers today who really helped out. Now it's time to go get some. What do we got to go get, Zach?
Coffee.
That's right, coffee. I need my coffee. Coffee. Here at Sister Ann's. Coffee.
Whatever that is, a mocha.
No, it's an Americano. I can't do mochas anymore. Too fast. I had a hard time figuring out which is east and which is west. But I started here at Sister Ann's, and we're gonna head further east and go around the block here at Troost. And today I have some little helpers. They're gonna walk the doggies for me, so I can keep an eye out and use the camera. And the cars are very noisy today, but we are walking towards Troost. This complex here started out above YJ's, the Windhorse Tattoo people, and when YJ's and the building changed ownership, they moved here, which a lot of people are moving here these days. Matter of fact, I think the theme is going to be about a little bit of the history of Troost and the gentrification that's taking place now. Because Troost has become known as a dividing line in Kansas City between white neighborhoods to the west and black neighborhoods to the east, and unfortunately also between wealthier people and poorer people. And now it's undergoing revitalization and, for better or worse, gentrification. I'm keeping an eye out because we're crossing a street and a lot of cars here, and right here is pretty much kind of like almost the heart of Troost, downtown Troost, if you will. A lot of these buildings have had businesses, a lot of local businesses for many years, and now they're all starting to get changed and gutted and remodeled. First, you want to talk about the history of Troost? Let's go look over here. One of my favorite artists, Alexander Austin, a really nice guy. He does all these murals, and I don't know, when you get close here, it's an interesting mural. Next to Alexander's mural. There we go. I believe that's Alexander Austin painting the mural, and Martin Luther King, and the Isis Theater, which is a block down, and Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse, which Walt Disney came up with Mickey Mouse. in his original studio, which was here in Kansas City. Here's a view of all the, I hope all this stuff's being remodeled. There's some beautiful old buildings down here. From what I know, the reason why Truce kind of became a dividing line was after the war, there was a housing crunch. And so a lot of GIs coming home and there was no place for them to live. So a lot of these old houses in these neighborhoods around here were subdivided into apartments. And of course, as the housing crunch eased and many people were moving up in the middle class and buying homes in the suburbs, the housing stock, of course, being owned by landlords, got worse and worse and worse for wear, and more poor people started moving in, and so that's how it kind of became the dividing line between any thoughts for dinner? So you got a message between, you know, the richer people to the west and poorer people to the east. And in the 70s and 80s, people started moving into Hyde Park, which is just over this way, and started gentrifying, remodeling their houses, and it became one of the nicer neighborhoods to live in. And you know, this area is just starting to see revitalization all the way down Troost. A lot of artists are moving in, attracted again by cheaper rent, and you know, the area where they had been, the crossroads, has gotten too expensive. A lot of stores and everything, and businesses, local businesses, what's encouraging for me is there's a lot of black-owned businesses that are, I hope, doing well. But in this area, there's still a lot of buildings that are worse for wear and dilapidated. There's this building way over here. This apartment building over here is completely falling down, and I don't know if it's being fixed up or what. I'm afraid it'll be taken down by the wrecking crew soon. Here's an interesting thing right here, the Messner Puppets. Messner Puppet Theater. Globally known, Kansas City's own, and that is true. I've heard of them everywhere. And I think I'm eventually going to have to bring the kids in there. And Hyde Park has kind of an interesting history too. It was named after Dr. Hyde, who was, I guess, the son-in-law of Colonel Swope of Swope Park. And there was a controversy involving Dr. Hyde where he was accused of murdering Colonel Swope, of all things. So, but I don't know, maybe some people can look that up and see more into it. I'll try and look it up when I get home. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on it. But that's just, you know, I don't know if that's history or gossip. But this neighborhood is named after him, and he developed it. That's why it's named after him. I gotta hurry up, the kids are racing out ahead of me, of course. And there's always this wonderful old architecture everywhere you look around here too. I mean, these neighborhoods are really beautiful. And yeah, Delta Athenaeum Deed Foundation. Athenaeum, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm encouraging Luke to get his energy out because he is way too bouncy today. Keep doing it, Luke. Come on, keep doing it. Yeah, yep. Keep doing it, Luke. Come on, keep doing it. No, don't run. Just hop. His older brother is showing him how to do it. They get their energy out. They need it. And look at these old houses. Some of them, they date back to the, oh yeah, by the arch windows, they date back to at least the 1870s, maybe even further than that. 1880s maybe, Victorian era. And you know, I think a lot of them just suffered from being subdivided into apartments during the housing crunch. And of course, you do that, then a few generations of tenants later, and you know, landlords who are just trying to collect money and not put much into the way of repair, and you've got a very threadbare structure. And having neighborhoods full of people that aren't owner-occupied people is not good for the neighborhoods either. And I see this very interesting looking structure back here. It's like homemade shack behind the house here. I like that. And you got a sign here that says Heroes Work Here. I should know what this place is, but I forget. It's a home for people that need it. And there's a lot of charitable organizations around here who help feed homeless and needy people and all sorts of stuff like that. Well, I have a low battery warning, so I guess this is the end. So thanks to everybody who's been watching my videos, and if you find these interesting, please like and subscribe. And thanks for all the comments too, it's very encouraging. So anyway, this will be it for now. North Kansas City at the old Allen Chevrolet building. We're gonna get a pickup order here. I love this old building, what they've done with it. It's a nice, streamlined, modern building. Hawaiian. Gonna go get some vittles. Woohoo! This is what it looks like on the inside. Pretty nice. Hawaiian.
Mushin said it's spicy.
Rose.
Ruh-roh, spicy.
Yeah. I got spice tears on my face.